Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Marc G, and this is thegordonexchange.com. Right now, I have the pleasure to sit down with Mr. Chris Franjola. He's here for the whole weekend, right?
Yeah.
So tomorrow, here at the Columbus Funny Bone.
We have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, tonight, and one tomorrow. Yeah, it's been fun.
Well, we're going to go ahead and get into it here. He has to go on tonight, so I'm going to try to get him on here as soon as possible. First thing, just how are you? How's everything going, man?
It's going well.
Good?
Yeah.
How do you like traveling still? And
I don't mind it. I still kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, the winter gets a little rough.
Right.
It's much nicer in the summer to be traveling around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been fun. I mean, right now we're at a good time. November's not too cold yet. So yeah, it's been good.
We're used to LA. This is...
I know. So it gets rough out there.
Now, I follow you on Twitter, and I see that you're one of the celebrities, the comedians that I see that really are interactive with followers.
Try to be, yeah.
Some people it's just, a bunch of retweets of, I'm going to be here, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You kind of engage more. Is that purposely, or is it just you?
No, I like doing it. I mean, it's a great way to kind of, talk to people right away. I mean, like we tweeted today.
Yeah.
So, and then honestly, when you're on the road, you have some time to do it.
Right.
You're sitting down, you're eating lunch, you got some time to kill in the daytime, you can kind of go through and I try to do like 3-4 a day.
Yeah.
Send out 3-4 tweets relative to whatever news thing is going on and things like that. So, it's, it's a job. You really got to keep up with it.
Now, I see you recently got on a Snapchat. Like, I have a Snapchat account, but I'm not there yet. I'm not sure exactly what.
Well, the reason I got on Snapchat is because I read an article saying that was like the new one that like most of the traffic was going to.
Mm-hmm.
Like more people were looking at that on a daily basis than Facebook or whatever. So you got to kind of keep up with these things. I hate it, but it's fine. It's another thing. You just kind of said it seems to be. But I said the same thing about Twitter years ago. I just didn't understand it. I didn't get it.
Right.
So Snapchat, but it's interesting.
I'm trying. I'm on there because everyone says, it's just another outlet to get your stuff out there.
Exactly. Yeah. So why not?
I'll have to try it out. Now, there's, like you just said, there's always something new that's coming.
Yeah.
I saw you tweet that 4 buds and the right music, and you'll talk about your inventions.
Yeah, exactly. My inventions, my script ideas, you name it. Yeah.
Now, tell me what's one that you said this one will stick. Just give me the right backing.
There was a time in my life where I seriously gave some consideration to coming up with a decoration, a holiday decoration that was like a transformer. So it could start out as a Halloween pumpkin, then you would be able, after Halloween ends, you'd be able to transform it into a turkey. Then after that, you would be able to transform it into a Christmas tree. So one decoration, you wouldn't have to put it away. You'd take it out in mid-October, put it away in January. Same, but any kind of move it around. I was so excited to get that thing out there. I never did it. It's probably out there now. Who knows? But that was my $1 billion idea when I was about 18 years old.
If you run into Chris, give him 4 Budweisers, and he'll tell you.
I'll tell you more about my transforming holiday tabletop or whatever.
Now, I know, of course, comedy is your business, but what's your background? Where did you start out at? How'd you
New York. Started in New York. Not comedy so much, but that's where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
I was an electrician, just regular construction work, and then I kind of started doing stand-up at night for fun, just like open mics and things like that in downtown New York. And it was, it was good. I was having a good time. And then I kind of went out to LA. And I worked on Family Guy early on, did some like writer's assisting on that show, and I kind of fell into it. It was ups and downs. You get a job here, it ends. You go back to bartending, waiting tables, things like that. But then Chelsea Lately hit, and we kind of thought that was going to be just kind of a short 8-week show. 8 years later, it was still became a huge thing for all of us. So that kind of really took me to another level. Now headlining and all that stuff. But it was all Chelsea Lately based.
Now, and I was going to ask you, how was it? Because I know I read somewhere that you, other than Chelsea and Chewy, you were the most.
I was on the most. I had the most appearances besides Chelsea because of the round table, and I did a bunch of different characters. I was one of the writers on the show, so I was there every day. So if something came up and in the news, I would play that person. And then toward the end, Chelsea was really letting us. She was always great at this. She was always letting us be free to do whatever we wanted. So if you came up with something, she would say, "Go ahead, put it on the show tonight." So and I took full advantage of that. I do kind of sketch, kind of like Saturday Night Live, kind of sketchy stuff. So I created all these characters, and I would just do them on the show. So I made a lot of appearances doing all sorts of crazy things, and that show was great for them.
do you have a moment or a time, whether it's on the show or stand up, where something just didn't go right, or something that sticks out that
On the show
or in your stand up?
Oh, yeah. In the stand-up, I mean, it's just, it happens, as long as we were doing it, all the guys from performing with this weekend, we all talk about it. Like, this has been a good weekend, but some nights, this is off, that's off, you just can never tell. You don't know if people are tired. Like, I mean, I don't know how, there's the whole thing going on in Paris, and does that affect people, what they're seeing on the news and things like that. So, it's always something.
Right.
But, as you do it more and more, you kind of find a way to, get through those moments and make it, a good show.
Make it work.
Yeah, right.
Now, do you, the round table is one of my favorite parts of the show. The current events and everything. This is the closest I'll get to the round table. So I want to ask you just a couple of current event
questions. Sure, let's go. I'm a little rusty. It's been a while, but I'll do my best.
Well, let's start with this one. Just what are your thoughts on the GOP nominees and then how the debates?
The debates are amazing. It's incredible. I mean, there's a lot of them. I can't believe some of them are still hanging on.
Right.
I guess just nobody wants to quit. So that's great. And then, Donald Trump is basically an insult comic, which is what it comes down to. But, this is a big country, man. People what people believe here in Columbus, they don't necessarily believe in New York or Los Angeles or whatever. So, I mean, they're buying some of that Trump stuff. They're buying some of this Ben Carson stuff. They're buying some of the... So, I mean, who knows? In the end... it'll be Hillary probably.
I think so too.
We'll see what happens. With all that, that'll be another problem.
Now, recently here in Ohio, we voted down.
But as backwards as everyone says our country is.
Yeah.
For the last 8 years, we had a black president, and now our next president will probably be a woman. So we've kind of really come pretty far.
Knocked them out because...
I remember having a friend Jason Glenn, great comedian, used to have a joke. Not even 15 years ago, he used to have a joke saying he was a school teacher, and he would say, all my kids would ask me, can I do this? Can I be an astronaut? Can I be a scientist? And he would always go, yeah. And then one black kid in the back was like, can I be president? He's like, no, not in this country. And then sure enough, now it's that joke's not even it's different.
I mean, you got how many years leading up to 2008 where it's like, you can't be president.
Exactly. You would have never thought that was the case. So who knows? Anything's possible.
We struck down legalization of marijuana.
I saw that.
A couple of weeks ago.
Now, it was just because you didn't want Nick Lachey to have any more money?
He could not be my weed man.
Yeah.
I didn't want him.
You didn't want the 90.
I didn't want him in charge of
farming your weed.
But I was one of the ones that voted it down. Because of the whole monopoly aspect of it.
Right.
But overall, where do you stand on? Because it seems like it's picking up steam everywhere.
Yeah, California, we have it. It's everywhere. You just need a card. I guess I don't smoke weed, so not that I have anything against it. I just never did. I just don't. It's just not something I do. But I think it's great. Let everyone have it. It's all right by me.
Right.
I don't. I have no problem. As far as I'm concerned, legalize everything. I believe some people believe that if you legalize it, it's going to be more accessible to people who don't do it.
Right.
Which is not true. I don't smoke weed, and now it's legal. I still don't smoke
you still don't do it.
And I don't do coke. And if coke was legal, I would do coke. Right. So it's who knows? I mean, there's all sorts of bigger issues behind it.
Right.
But I say everybody do it all. Gays get married, smoke weed, do crack. I don't know.
Whatever you want to do. Now there was a big uproar recently. We got Christmas coming up. Starbucks wouldn't put Merry Christmas on the cups.
Right. I think that is an indication that our country is doing pretty well.
Okay.
If our biggest concern is the color of a Starbucks coffee cup, then things must be going okay for us in this country. Our gas prices are low.
Right.
People seem to be working. We got Christmas coming up. People, are able to buy things. So if the biggest thing we're concerned about is the color of the Starbucks cup, and people were upset that there wasn't snowmen and snowflakes on it. But honestly, before I heard the controversy, I went that day when they first came out, and I got the road, and I was even like, oh, it's just red? Not any Christian thing.
Yeah.
I was just like, it seems like that was kind of a cop-out. But then all this crazy stuff came out that people said they were, it was a war against Christmas. But yet, if you go into Starbucks, outside of the cup, everything is Christmas. They got Christmas blend coffee, they have snowman cookies, so there's plenty of Christmas stuff in Starbucks if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, everything is a thing. now. You know what I mean? No matter what it is, somebody's going to be
everyone's pissed off. Yeah, and that's all. Who knows? Everybody's mad at everything. That's why you should come out to comedy clubs, because no matter how shitty everything gets in this world, like what's happening in Paris, what's happening at Starbucks, what's happening, whatever you choose to get you're upset about, you come to a comedy club, and me, comedians, all of us, we can make this shit funny. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a great place to be, and this is one of the best clubs in the country, newly remodeled, and it's
Looks
great.
good.
Yeah, it came out nice, right?
I know you now. Was this your first comedy album, The Shallow End?
The Shallow End was my first comedy album. Yeah.
How was the whole process of that?
The process was great. Comedy albums are weird because as a comedian, you're always kind of growing. You're always doing different material. You're always kind of changing things. Mm-hmm. So you put it out, and it's out, and then you immediately would change things. Yeah. That's the way I felt. I don't think most comics do. You put it out, and I'm happy with it, right. But there are things that I would go, it's a little cringe. It's been 2 years, a year and a half, almost 2 years now since I've done it, mm-hmm. And there's so many things I do differently but that's just the way you gotta do it. You put it out. But they were great. We did it in San Diego. It was a great crowd. I liked a small club. Mm-hmm. I wanted that kind of feel. And I think we got it. It did well. People enjoy. With comedy albums now, the thing is to get into like the Pandora rotation and the Spotify rotation. So it's not so much people go out and buy the actual CD or something. It's just you're in that rotation of Spotify and Pandora. So when people listen, you'll pop up, which is good.
Well, are you gonna do another one? Do you have that in works?
Yeah. I'm kind of working on some, the new hour now, which I'm kind of, I want to do a new one because the albums are easy. You can get those done in kind of no time.
Right.
These days, because you really don't even need the CD. You just do it digitally.
Everything's streaming.
Right. So I would love to do another one soon.
Well, I know you got to get ready and get prepared to get on the stage.
Right on stage right
so
now.
My last question, and I usually ask every comedian that I sit down with, mm-hmm. if you had to pick your top 5 or starting 5 dream team of comedy,
okay,
who's on your team?
Oh, I like this. I love David Spade. I think mm-hmm. David Spade is an underrated, great stand-up comedian. One of his HBO specials from about 10, 15 years ago is one of the best I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. I would have Spade. He's the kind of guy I like to watch. He's kind of my style. I love Tom Segura. I don't know if you guys know Tom. Tom's mm-hmm. a great comedian, hilarious. There's a guy who I just mentioned earlier, Jason Galern. And then my friends, Jen Kirkman is one of the best, my favorites. Heather McDonald, Chelsea Handler, the girls I worked with, I love. There's a lot of good female. I know there's a whole issue, but there's some great female comics right now. Beth Stelling, Jessie Peluso. There's some good people. So picking 5, I'm gonna pick 3 guys.
Okay.
Brian Regan, Jason Galern, Tom Segura, Jen Kirkman, Sarah Colonna. How'd I do?
It's 5.
Yeah.
It's good to go.
All right.
So tell them where they can find you online.
Franjola.com is my website. That'll list all my dates.
I like your website.
Yeah.
Very clean.
Yeah, very clean. Sometimes I had some issues with it, but we worked it out. And I don't know anything about computers, so it's hard for me to get it all worked out, but we finally did it. And then all that, Chris Franjola on Twitter, Instagram, Chris Franjola, Snapchat, Chris Franjola, all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Facebook.
We'll hear from the Columbus Funny Bone. I am Marc G. This is Chris Franjola, thegordonexchange.com, and we are out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.